All right, I stumbled across this footage. This is from July 18th, 2018. Look at this mirroring going on here with this water that's right in front of me, just mirroring the whole sky, pretty much the whole, almost everything out there except for where you see the visible water rippling. Um, it was shot in 2018. There's the Bayport rack. And it was around 12:04 in the afternoon that I shot this. And the mirroring was just phenomenal. It was very heavy, but one of the things is I've been trying to show people about this mirroring effect and how it does obscure our vision. It hides objects, just the same way with my mirroring experiment that I did with the concave convex mirrors. Things will vanish within its own reflection. And this is a perfect example because the mirroring effect was occurring much closer to me than normal. There's a rack out here, which is the halfway mark. That it's really not the halfway mark to the Bayport bird rack, but it's in the channel, and it's about maybe a mile, mile and a half. I've never measured it because it's not marked on any GPS maps or my navigation maps, but there it is right there, and it's actually in the mirror already, part of it. And the Bayport rack was really in the mirror, and this is what I want to show you. When you watch these boats, and like I said, I've presented a lot of evidence, a lot of observations to really look at and review this, and see it in a lot of my videos where this mirroring effect occurs at all different distances, um, depending on the atmospheric conditions. So when we get it up close, it's obvious. You can watch these boats do exactly what they do at a farther distance. You can never really escape this mirroring effect. Either it starts close to you, or it starts a little further away, or a little further away. A lot of times it starts right at the Bayport rack, which is 3.5 miles. Other times it continues to show more water, or the boats just right on that same water line and stay on that same water line and just continue to get smaller and smaller and smaller. Now you watch these boats right here. Um, I'm trying to track a couple of them, and also I'm looking at the water, the wake that the boat produces, and look how it's reacting to this mirroring, the mirroring on each side of it. Also, you can see how this water is just kind of blending right into the mirror. And that's what these boats do, is once they get into the mirror, it starts to hide them. How does it hide them? Within its own reflection, in plain sight. It's right here. It's all right in front of me, and I can't believe I overlooked this footage, because it was actually really good footage. It was actually a rainy day or a hazy day, and like I said, this mirroring starts closer to me because there was so much humidity in the air, not in the water, but in the air. And when this occurs, we get this major heavy mirroring effect that really starts off. It cuts the water line off. That visible water, you can see it, but look at the boat beyond. And then you see it's a reflection. You see its reflection underneath the boat, and that's why bottoms of the boat vanish bottom up. They do vanish, but it's not because they're going over the curve. Because if so, then the curve started out really, really close to me this morning. Um, and, I can't see the size of Earth changing just for me. So I noticed this in a lot of my footage that this mirroring effect always occurs. And it always occurs just above the visible water line. And you want to know why you cannot see nothing else in the back? Because everything's being mirrored. The water is just mirroring the sky once it gets past the visible water. This is the invisible mirror. It's an atmospheric mirror. It actually, um, it's like taking a mirror at the end of your vision or your horizon, and it ain't even at the horizon because the horizon's much higher. I'm looking down. I'm looking down at this boat, not looking straight out at it. So the water that's visible is way below my eye level. And when you start watching these, you learn. And this is what I've been doing for over, well, about 3 years now. Okay, I think I started out in 2016 early. um, and I've been doing major observational footage. I don't get the views. Even this tree branch right here, I've filmed that tree out there so many times. It blew in on a storm one time, and it's been out there ever since. Now look at this boat. Look at this boat. You can see a boat on the top, which is the real boat, and a boat at the bottom, which is a mirror. It's a mirror image. It's not a mirage. I mean, they call it a mirage, but really it's just a mirror image under the boat. Can you get a mirror image above it? Yes, if there's another layer of, say there's a double layer of humidity where the humidity's at one point and then the humidity's higher at a higher point. Yes, you can get this double mirror, which will also hide things. It will smear them, it'll stretch them, it'll compress them, just like these concave, convex mirrors do. And you can go into any fun house and look at all the different types of mirrors that are in there. And these effects happen in nature. This is Mother Nature playing tricks on our eyes. And, the globe people will always say, refraction, refraction. It's being pulled up from behind the curve. Well, if the curve is starting out at that short of a distance, now here comes the Bayport bird rack. And even I swear this bird rack looks much bigger. And the reason it looks much bigger is because it's double vision there. There's double vision. I can't sing. But you can see right where that actual water line is. Now there's 7 horizontal slots across that bird rack that are the actual slots. So if we counted them from the top down, sometimes what happens is you count 6 or you count 5 and you say, well, where's the other 2? Oh, it's beyond the curve. Well, it can't be beyond the curve because that thing's at 3.5 miles away. It's not being refracted up. It's being pulled down into that mirroring effect, just like a concave mirror will do or a convex mirror will do. They both have 2 different effects, but um, you got to take into consideration of how this Mother Nature's mirror is working out here. Sometimes, recently I had gotten the uh, Fatima and Morgana, Fatima, and it was absolutely awesome. Now, on this day, I'm getting major mirroring, and you can see this boat bouncing in that mirror. And now I'm going to track another boat. I'm going to find this boat. And you see them bouncing in the mirror, and you see its water being sprayed up. Um, it's not going behind the curve. It's just getting hidden in the mirror. And this is what people are just totally missing. It is an atmospheric mirroring condition that actually is hiding the boat. In other words, the boat is hidden inside that mirror, inside its own reflection. So the water line is not way up above it, it's actually underneath it. and you can't see it because it's just mirrored into its own image. It's it's crazy, but man, I tell you, I tried to show this with my concave convex mirror with a video. I got hardly crap for views, which, hey, I just don't care no more. I'm going to do my thing, show people all these different observations that I do. And here lately, I've been keeping my tripod down at 28 inches. I'm not even pulling it up all the way. And I'm trying to get as low to the water or close to the water as possible. Sometimes I can, and I just kind of stay in my own spot. Um, I'm at Bayport right here doing these observations, but I since have gone out to Pine Island. And there's a spot just to the left side of this observation deck, which is not very high. It's only a couple of feet up. But I'm right in the corner where the seawall is. And I set up there as much as I possibly can, as long as there's not people standing there and I can't get in there because other people are there. It is a beach, so people set out their towels, there's lawn chairs. But I always try to set up there anytime possible. And I've actually gone down in the water, by the water, as much as possible here lately, too. And the reason why is because I want to see what I can see at 28 inches. Now, right now, I'm pretty sure I've got my camera setting up on the picnic table because it had rained earlier. I was out there. Um, Oh my goodness, I got like 5 hours of footage of this, and every bit of it is awesome because you can see the changes in the atmospheric conditions, how the Bayport bird rack changes in view, and you start seeing it in a different reflection. It's absolutely crazy. And then you get this where it looks distorted out there. It is getting distorted, but it's a double image. It's mirroring itself, and it's vanishing within that mirror, just like the concave convex mirroring experiment I did. I was showing people um, this is what hides bottoms of buildings. Because again, when you're looking at long distances out there, you always have this like little sliver of white just above the visible water. And that tells you that if you're looking a long distance and you can see stuff out there that you normally don't, that's usually because you got good visibility that day. And they want to say, oh no, it's a refraction index that's pulling things up. I'm not buying it, people. I'm not buying that refraction shit. Yes, light does refract, and you can use like big thick glass, bottles, glasses, and that's because it's actually how can I explain it? It's like the glass, because it's up tall, you're seeing that reflection. It's reflecting through and downward. Okay, that's not what we're seeing here. What we're seeing here is mirroring, not looking through glass and going beyond or below the curvature of Earth. And then look at this whole view right here. Look at this whole view. The water in front of me is calm. Further out there, it's rougher. But right here, it's just calm and just mirror. Double vision, baby. And then look at the mirroring effect that happens. So the clouds are like smeared out all the way toward me. And then after it gets a little bit like it's mirroring directly above me or a little further out, but it's mirroring closer, it starts looking more and more like what it should in an actual mirror. It's not being smeared. So, this concave convex mirror experiment that I did, I think it was one of the best because I've got some more experiments I'm going to do with it to present, um, to try to simulate exactly what I'm filming right here. This is what I want to do, and I'll show how that does vanish within that mirroring effect. I got a second part to this I'll put up afterward. I'm going to work on it after I do this one, and get it up and posted. All right, thanks for watching. I hope you appreciate my footage because I work hard.